We're counting down the 10 biggest motor graders ever engineered. Machines so colossal they shredded the limits of earth-moving power. From high-tech giants designed for millimeter precision to steel titans built to survive the world's harshest mines, each ranks by the brutal balance of size, strength, and real-world success. But only one learned from the disaster of raw size, becoming an epic flaw. Which grader finally overturned the legend? Let's begin with number 10. Number 10 brings precision to the fight. The John Deere 872 GP weighs in at nearly 62,000 pounds. But it is not muscle alone that puts this machine on the list. It is brains. 6-wheel all-wheel drive claws into asphalt and loose gravel, keeping the grader steady where others slip. The real game changer is the mast-free Smart Grade system. Instead of old-school stakes and guesswork, this grader locks its steel blade to GPS coordinates, holding a perfect grade within millimeters. On a highway job, that means fewer passes, less rework, and a finish smoother than most rivals twice its size. While heavier titans chase brute force, the 872 GP dominates North American roadwork by turning technology into real-world speed and savings. Next up, a machine that trades microchip smarts for pure, raw power. SANY's SMG 200C8 isn't just another heavy hitter. It is the grader built to survive the world's most brutal climates. Under the hood, a 253 horsepower Cummins engine delivers relentless force through a chassis, tipping the scales at nearly 21 metric tons. But this machine's real weapon is its adaptability. Every seal, hose, and hydraulic line is engineered to shrug off temperatures from -40 to +50 degrees Celsius. Whether it is carving haul roads in Siberian ice or pushing red earth under the Saharan sun, the SANY powers through without missing a beat. For crews working far from city shops, SANY ships crate-based parts kits. Field mechanics can swap components on the fly, keeping downtime to a minimum. It is no surprise the SMG 200C8 has become the backbone of China's Belt and Road megaprojects, reshaping landscapes across 3 continents. Next comes a machine that defines reliability in the American heartland. Case 885B doesn't come dressed in high-tech or fancy paint. It's built for one thing: survival in the world's toughest coal mines. In Wyoming and Montana, these graders run day and night, carving out haul roads for 1,000-ton truck fleets. The secret isn't horsepower or electronics, it's a drivetrain that refuses to quit. Mechanics talk about the 885B like an old friend, with simple hydraulics, minimal wiring, and a transmission that can be rebuilt in a gravel lot with hand tools. Some units rack up over 40,000 hours before their first major overhaul. When newer models choke on dust or glitch out in the cold, the case just keeps moving. Blade down, steel biting into gravel. In a business where downtime drains millions, reliability isn't just a feature, it's the whole game. Next up, a grader that puts operator comfort and efficiency in the driver's seat. Komatsu's GD6557 stands out by putting the operator at the heart of the machine. The cab rises nearly 12 feet above the ground, giving drivers a commanding view over the blade and the haul road ahead. This is not just about comfort. It is about safety and control, especially when working alongside massive mining trucks in Australia's Pilbara region. The real innovation hides in the transmission. With a flick of a switch, the operator can toggle between power mode for heavy cutting and economy mode for light finishing work. That simple change can cut fuel use by up to 15%, saving thousands of dollars over a season. Every control and sight line is designed for long shifts, reducing fatigue and mistakes. In a world chasing bigger engines and tougher frames, the GD6557 proves that efficiency and visibility can be just as powerful. Next, the focus shifts to a grader built to conquer the global market through sheer size and value. XCMG's GR2605T Pro bulldozes into the mid-scale ranks with a formula that is hard to beat: maximum steel, maximum reach, and a price tag that leaves premium brands scrambling. At over 20 tons, driven by a 261 kilowatt engine, about 350 horsepower, this grader stretches 9.4 meters from nose to tail. It is not just about raw size. XCMG's global surge comes down to economics. Instead of chasing the latest tech, the GR2605T Pro wins contracts with dealer financing, regional parts pools, and a build that is tough enough for open-pit mines in Africa and South America. Operators get a long frame for smoother grading, while fleet managers see a machine that undercuts established rivals by up to 30%. When budgets are tight, but the job is massive, this export titan keeps moving earth and market share without breaking the bank. Caterpillar's 18M3 stands as the backbone of haul road maintenance for the world's 200-ton and 300-ton mining trucks. With an operating weight over 74,000 pounds and a Cat C18 engine delivering 313 horsepower, this grader is built for relentless punishment. Its moldboard stretches up to 18 feet wide, setting the industry benchmark for coverage on copper and gold pit roads. But raw muscle is not the only story here. The 18M3 comes loaded with advanced blade automation, electro-hydraulic controls that adjust the angle on the fly, keeping every pass smooth and consistent, no matter how rough the shift gets. What keeps these machines working day and night is not just their power, but Caterpillar's global service network and rebuild programs. Mines invest in the 18M3 because it balances brute strength with uptime and support, proving that the real giants are the ones that keep fleets moving year after year. SEM 922 does not just survive the world's harshest job sites, it thrives where most machines tap out. In the diamond fields of Africa, it is buried daily in abrasive mud. On Arctic roads, it faces months of sub-zero permafrost, where rubber turns brittle and steel contracts. The secret is a sealed powertrain, every joint and bearing encased to keep out grit, water, and freezing slush. Heavy-duty filtration keeps fine dust from choking the engine, while do-it-yourself repair kits ride in the cab, letting operators patch hoses or swap filters without waiting for a factory technician. This grader is not coddled by dealer networks or climate-controlled garages. It is built for the kind of places where help is 1,000 miles away, and downtime means disaster. When the job site is more hostile than a minefield, the SEM 922 proves that toughness is not just a feature, it is a survival strategy. Now the countdown jumps to machines that push the limits of sheer power. The XCMG GR505 charges into the mega class with numbers that put it on the edge of myth, over 500 horsepower and a curb weight tipping 63 tons. This isn't a prototype or a one-off fantasy. The GR505 is a production grader engineered for open-pit coal mines, where haul roads stretch for miles and every pass counts. What sets it apart isn't just raw power, it's how that power stays usable. Massive 23.5 R, 25 tires spread the load, keeping ground pressure low enough that this giant won't sink into soft earth like the doomed ACCO. Tire inflation is dialed to just 320 kilopascals, and a modular frame design means the whole machine ships in split sections for assembly on site. The result is a grader that brings near legendary size, but stays nimble enough to work where others would bog down. Next comes the king of balance, where brute force meets real-world dominance. Caterpillar's 24 stands at the peak of what a motor grader can achieve when brute strength meets real-world need. Tipping the scales at nearly 75 tons, this machine is built to keep the world's largest mines moving. Its Cat C27 engine pushes out a staggering 535 horsepower, enough to drive a 24-foot blade through packed gravel and iron-rich dirt. carving haul roads wide enough for 400-ton trucks. Advanced traction control keeps all 6 wheels gripping, even when the surface turns slick or unstable. Every pass is guided by Cat-Grade Assist, an automated system that fine-tunes the blade angle for perfect road crowns and drainage, no matter how rough the shift gets. The global fleet crossed the 1,000-unit milestone in 2022, with machines rebuilt and upgraded to outlast the toughest mining cycles. This is the king of practical power, massive, unstoppable, and engineered to work, not just to impress. The ACCO Super Grader was a machine that defied belief. A 200-ton monster powered by twin diesel engines, producing a combined 1,700 horsepower. Its blade stretched more than 30 feet, promising to flatten multi-lane highways in a single pass. But the numbers hid a fatal flaw. On soft ground, ACCO's weight translated into crushing ground pressure, far beyond what any roadbed or mine haul road could support. The tires, 12 in all, simply sank. No amount of engineering could save it from the laws of physics or from the political freeze that followed the 1986 embargo. The grader never worked a real job. Left to rust in an Italian yard, it was eventually scrapped. No blueprints, no glory, just a legend. ACCO's fate is a warning. In heavy equipment, excess is its own enemy. The giants that followed learned the lesson. True power means knowing your limits. Across all 10 giants, one truth stands out. Pure size means nothing without engineering that respects the limits of Earth itself. The graders that dominate today balance raw power with real-world mobility and control. In this world, only practical innovation carves the future. Which machine impressed you most?